Hello, I'm Mike Watkins from the MSOT program at Cox College. And one fun fact about me is I've been skydiving twice, once here in Springfield, Missouri, and another time in my hometown of California. When addressing Mary in her progression of MS, occupational therapy treatment and skilled services would best serve Mary in the areas of transitions in functional mobility, lower extremity and upper extremity dressing, and wheelchair mobility. With Mary, the transfers and functional mobility is an area that OT would assess and give her a assistance level with. And it's something that we would see with bed mobility in terms of her being able to scoot, her balance at the edge of bed, what Mary can do in terms of how much she can push herself off the bed. Those assistance levels would give us a baseline of how Mary can complete that ADL. And what that would translate into something functional would be like going from her bed to the wheelchair to the bathroom. So she can finish her oral or complete oral hygiene. She'd be able to transfer from the wheelchair to the shower to complete a shower hygiene, or to the toilet to complete toileting hygiene. So the transfers are really somewhere that we would look at with Mary to see how well she completes and what we could do to make that more efficient for her. With the lower extremity and upper extremity dressing, we would see where Mary lies with those activities and if she would benefit from an adaptation like a dressing hook or dressing Velcro pieces, or whether it be a dressing tool that helps her grasp her lower extremity clothes to pull them up. That would all depend on how she completes those tasks and what we assess her needs for. When it comes to the wheelchair, we do know that Mary has a pressure ulcer, so we would definitely recommend a cushion that better suits her and a wheelchair that would also address Mary's possible fatigue and possible decrease in strength, which could be seen as Mary has had a decrease in her ADLs or participation in ADLs, and with the progression of her MS. So a wheelchair that would make more sense for Mary and her ability to navigate the bathroom and her ability to navigate where she eats, as those are areas where she eats. Feeding is an area that she feels sensitive about based on the case itself. And we would also have an occupational profile to figure out what areas Mary really is concerned with in terms of being able to complete with her ADLs, and where she would want to increase her participation with socializing. We would anchor this occupational profile within the model of ecology of human performance to really see how Mary interacts with her environment and how we can streamline certain things to make that a smoother ADL for her, whether it be completing an ADL, going to the restroom, getting to her bed, or it be an IDL and interacting with different people or having a game or being social. We'd want to have that information via the profile. And what would stand out from other disciplines regarding Mary, PT would be crucial for her in terms of finding out her biomechanical and neurological reintegration. Strength is key for us in terms of being able to see how she can hold herself up. PT would be assessing those areas, her gait, standing and reaching. Those areas are skills that we would know if there are deficits, and whether she was in normal limits so she could be able to complete her ADLs. And if not, then we would address those. Counseling and psychological services would definitely be referred to see how Mary is doing with her depression. Some was stated in the case itself, so monitoring that would be one of the things that would be concerned about within the team. SLP and nutritionists would be on the team as well because of Mary's different tolerance of foods. She can tolerate solid foods, but as the case has been showing, SLP's evaluation recommends a mechanical soft food diet and more moistened foods, different techniques that Mary can use to have her nutritional needs met by SLP and those nutrition bases recommended by the nutritionists themselves. Recreation would be interesting to see specialization if there's any MS specialized recreation activities that OT hasn't looked into. Maybe recreational services would be able to address that. And nursing services is very much part of the team. It stands out in terms of being able to address Mary's wound and how she's dealing with movement itself. We can gauge based on daily notes and different orders from the nurses and how Mary's pain level is and what she can tolerate.